Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shannon Rutherford, the town planner for Farmington. This is the Farmington Historic District Commission, and I will start with roll call of the members. Joanne Lawson.
Here.
James Calciano.
Here.
Cliff Mix.
Here.
Michelle Phelan.
Here.
Jay Bombara.
Here.
And our alternates, Liz Gemsky.
Here.
Ted Sanford.
Here.
And I will note for the record that John Renahan is absent this afternoon. Mr. Chair, it's all yours.
Okay, this is Jay Bombara, Chairman of the Farmington Historic District, and we'll begin the meeting. I guess we already read out the public notice for the previous public hearing for the first item on the agenda, which is the renewal by Anderson. If you recall, at the last meeting, we had some missing members. So I would ask that when we discuss this, unless other commissioners have listened to the record, but for purposes of voting as well, that we'll have the commissioners Calciano, Lawson, Phelan, Jemsky, and myself decide it. But with that, I know that Shannon was good and sent a list of houses that you could look at these windows. If you recall, the issue was we didn't recall that we had approved these types of windows before. I think some of the information we were provided, apparently there may actually have been some windows that we did approve. But with that, I guess I'll just ask Jim, you were the one that we're most interested in seeing it. So did you get a chance to look at it? And
I did. I looked at two of them. And the one that I was familiar with was the one on Hatter's Lane. And as I recall, and we approved that bow window in front. It is not what we approved. I don't know if we can go back and look because the grills are in between the glass. We never would have approved.
So that's a separate issue. I guess we'll have to ask Shannon to look into that.
Yeah, what?
Well, you just said that you looked at a particular window that wasn't what we approved, but that's a separate issue from this, other than making sure that whatever Anderson's going to install matches what we think we're approving.
From what I could see, that's what they're putting in. Okay. I think in some of their design, I saw that papers they sent, and they all have the grills inside. We don't approve that.
But this is not going to have any grills.
I thought some of them were.
No.
All of them?
The applicant is on the.
They're all
Is
large.
Yes.
Is the applicant?
Yes.
I'm here if I could.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please
you mind?
add
Yeah,
clarity to the window install for this. There's no grills, correct? There's no
That is
grills,
correct.
grills proposed.
all right. So that's what I meant by
All right.
that's an issue
Okay.
for the others, but
And then on the inside, they're going to be wood.
the applicant, could you respond to whether on the interior it would be wood?
The interior could certainly be wood, but the customer opted for and prefers to have the inside the same composite material that would be on the outside due to the fact of its endurance, and it can be painted. However, they prefer not to have to paint it. And also for the record, we have numerous projects where true divided light or full divided light is an option. And in fact, in the vast majority of historical applications, we have used true divided light when requested or required by the Historical Society. I provided a number of different images. It basically displaying the multiple historical projects we've done, and I think you'll find that the majority of them have a very attractive true divided light, or as we call it, full divided light. So not every window that has grills, it has to be a grill between the glass. However, in this particular instance, the original windows do not have grills, so therefore we did not include any.
Thank you. That's helpful.
That's good. Thank you.
Would anybody else on the commission like to comment on this application?
Just for clarification, you're not removing any of the exterior casing at all. You're just removing the sash and putting these inserts in, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, in most cases, in historical applications, it stands to reason that the interior and exterior trim are a crucial part of the historical integrity of the home. So our insert is such that we can leave the exterior trim, we can leave the interior trim, which is, again, a great benefit to the customer due to the fact that a lot of that was custom made and probably could not be easily replicated again. And our material is also such that it doesn't require as much material as the vast majority of insert windows typically do. So one of the concerns folks have with an insert window is that it looks more congested after the fact. However, because we use a sloped sill to match the degree of the slope that is existing, we virtually have no glass loss top to bottom. About a ½ inch each side, if that, on either side, which is again in contrast to a typical 1.5 to 2 inches with most insert replacements.
Yeah, I noticed the stiles and rails are narrower than most replacement windows. I think it looks fine. I think it's going to replicate what's there pretty well.
Thank you.
Anybody else on the commission? Is there anybody listening or in the chambers that has a comment or question about the application?
If anyone has called in online to offer comment on 96 Main Street, please raise your hand using the feature in Zoom and you'll be acknowledged to address the commission. Mr. Chair, there's no hands raised.
Okay, hearing no more at the moment further discussion before I ask for a motion on the application, getting to Jim's point. So I think, that, as I said, is a separate issue. If we think that there may have been work done that does not match what was approved, we can ask the staff at Town Hall to take a look at it and get us a report back and figure out where we go from there. But that would be a separate matter. I think we've all heard here that there are no sashes, so at the very least, it's not an issue with this particular application. So with that, do I have a motion to approve the application as submitted?
I'll make a motion that we approve a temporary certificate of appropriateness to replace the windows at 96.
Terribly sorry.
It's okay.
As proposed at the public hearing of June 18th.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there further discussion against asking Commissioner Genske to vote on this matter? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you again for having me, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, we appreciate your patience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now move on to the other public hearings, and I'll ask the Secretary of the Commission, Michelle Phelan, to read in the public hearing.
Notice is hereby given that the Farmington Historic District Commission will hold a hybrid in-person and online public hearing on Tuesday, June 18th, 2024 at 5 p.m. in the Town Hall Council Chambers on the following applications. Bianca Signs Plus LLC application for temporary certificate of appropriateness to replace a sign at 771 Farmington Avenue. Ms. Porter's school application for temporary certificate of appropriateness to replace the cupola railings at 60 Main Street. Interested parties are encouraged to attend in this hybrid public hearing. Participation in person is at 1 Monteith Drive, Town Hall, Town Council Chambers, or online participation is via the link provided in the notice. A copy of this proposal is on file in the Planning Department at Town Hall, Farmington, Connecticut, and may also be accessed online at the link provided in the notice or by calling the Planning Department.
Thank you, Michelle. Okay, is the applicant present for Bianca Signs Plus LLC application? And if so, could you state your name and address and then make a presentation regarding your application?
I'm not sure, actually, if they're here.
See, Richard.
I don't know who Stefan is or Steven. If anyone has called in for the Bianca sign application at 771 Farmington Avenue, please raise your hand.
No, Mr. Bianca or Mr.
We
Gonzalez.
do have one. Hang on.
Okay, why don't we continue this in
No,
case
there
someone
is-
shows up?
There is one.
There
He
is
has,
somebody on
he
the-
just. he
Oh,
just
great,
raised his
great,
hand,
sorry.
So,
Thank you.
Stephen, I just promoted you to panelist, if you can accept that. Okay, you should be able to toggle your own microphone and camera. Stephen, you should be able to toggle your own microphone and camera to address the commission regarding the application. I don't know, Mr. Chair. We can go on to the Ms. Porter's application and then try to come back.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, in that case, we'll move on and hopefully we can resolve the technical issues with the Bianca Signs application, presenter. So when I will move to, Ms. Porter's school application, for the temporary certificate to replace the cupola railings at 60 Main Street. Again, if someone's here to represent the applicant, if you could come to the podium, state your name and address, and then make a presentation regarding your application.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Jackie Murray on behalf of Miss Porter's School, 60 Main Street, Farmington. This application is to replace the cupola railings that sits on top of our 60 Main Street building. There's a good image of it there. After reviewing it, we realized that there's quite very extensive rot at the top of it. It's not safe as it currently is. Yes, those are the pictures. That shows it well. It's currently a wood material and it's very unstable. There's a lot of rot. And so we are proposing to replace it with a PVC material. We are working with Contempo Restoration, who's very familiar with projects in the historic district, and he helped us select this material. It's from Intex Millwork Solutions. The PVC is just going to offer us increased durability over time. And we've selected through their product line materials that are very, very close match to the existing railing system. Those are images of it right there.
I'll just ask one question before I ask the commissioners if they have questions. It says replace cupola railing, so we go back to the picture of the cupola.
Yep.
I mean, are you really rebuilding the whole thing or is it just the balusters?
So it's just that top section, the railing and the wood at the bottom. That's the only part. So really that section right there on all four sides of
Everything
the
from
cupola.
The top of what we're seeing down to the roof line?
Correct.
Okay. That's rebuilding.
And it's strictly just because it's rotting.
Okay. All right. Liz, do you have any questions or comments on the application?
No, I don't think so.
Michelle,
No, I do not.
Jim?
None, as long as the turnings are close to that and the
Yep.
all the reveals are the same. I think that's fine.
I just did have one question. Is it the same fencing that you have over at 53 Main, that little fence around the patio? It looked so
Trying to
similar to
think.
me when I went to look at it.
It might be. It's a product line that that we've worked with in the past. I didn't do the 53 Main
Oh.
Street project, unfortunately, but it's very similar. And this contractor has done extensive work on our campus and understands that it needs to be very, very similar to the original.
Cliff, do you have any questions or comments for the applicant?
Nope, no questions. Thank you.
Ted?
Looks good to me.
Okay, that's easy. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just state the obvious one more time. So you were gonna, since you are taking the entire thing, that portion down, you
Yes.
will be reconstructing it to match exactly what's current there as far as height, width.
Correct. The height and the width will be exactly the same.
Balusters might be slightly different.
Might be slightly different, but our goal is to keep it as close as possible. I mean, this building is our pride and joy. We want to keep it looking exactly the same. So that is our goal.
Okay, is there anybody online that wishes to ask questions or comment on this application?
If anyone has called in regarding the 60 Main Street application for Ms. Porter's, please raise your hand using the feature in Zoom. You'll be acknowledged to address the commission. Mr. Chair, there's no hands raised.
Okay, and for the record, there's nobody else here in the room with us to comment. So with that, I would ask someone to make a motion to approve the application.
Can we
I'll make a motion.
confirm,
Oh,
I'm sorry, I just
oh.
confirm so Cliff is now voting as a full member?
Oh, yeah, so
So just
since the full members are here, the full members will vote.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry.
Chair. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we grant a temporary certificate of appropriateness to Ms. Porter's school for their application on replacing the cupola railings as presented to us located at 60 Main Street.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Shall second it. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, you're all set.
Thank you so much.
Motion's approved.
Okay,
With that, we'll go back to the previous application to see if anybody's able to participate.
so I got a chat message. Yeah, for whatever reason, the applicant, they're not able to or not understanding how to turn on their microphone.
Could they dial in?
Yeah, if you wanted, Stephen, if you want to, you can call in. I can type in the number, which is also on the agenda. Okay, so we'll see where this gets us. Unfortunately, there's been enough change with this. I'm not comfortable just. I think it's important that the applicants speak to this directly.
Yeah,
So-
no, I would agree. So if they're unable to, I guess I would say we'll need to continue this matter to the,
Well, they're gonna try, let's see if we're gonna let them try calling in. We'll see where that goes and if, they logged out completely.
Yes.
Steven, you should be able to unmute your microphone. I can see you logged in. Either the space bar or I think sometimes the number 7 key will allow you to speak. So, I can see him logged in, Mr. Chair, but there's no audio. So,
Well, I mean, we allow people to participate online as a convenience to the applicant. I feel terrible that they're not able to communicate this way, but I mean, the only other option is to either they can try again online next
at the next
month,
meeting.
or they can show up to make sure that they can present this. So apologies to the applicant, but if that's the case, I think
Correct, because they need
I
to.
don't- commissioners feel differently. We should move on. I mean, you can keep trying if you want, but the only other thing I see on the agenda, or I, maybe I assumed you wanted to mention, but I know you circulated was the memo ironically about online meeting procedures. I read it, they make sense to me. Didn't that go around? Did that go around to the commissioners or just to me? Why did I get that then?
It's
I have it in my
posted,
hand.
no, it's posted online on all so if you went to the website, it's posted online everywhere for all the land use.
Was it part of in the HDC materials? Is that why? Oh, I thought you had wanted to say something about it. Okay.
No, it's on all the web pages,
All right.
all the land use
In that case,
pages
no need
for
for a
public
report.
comment.
Made sense to me. I just thought maybe there was a reason we wanted to talk about it.
No, sir.
Do you have anything that Shannon or that we should?
No, we
be aware of
touch base on the headers. So he's put a. check.
Oh, right.
Sorry, it's not working. You'll have to present at the next meeting. I'm not.
So is it clear which property Jim was asking about? And you guys can look into that?
25 Havers, I think. Yeah.
So,
I'm familiar with that property. This will be the second owner, though, the owner that,
changed them isn't there anymore.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
a fence was built.
He was the
that-
builder that did it.
Yeah, I think it was the builder that did it, when the first party moved in. Yeah, because that was like a flip house.
It would have been.
it's 2020.
So that bay window was done earlier than the one we looked at in recent years when the builder flipped it.
Okay,
That was already there.
okay. Thank you, Ted. That's helpful.
No, I don't think so, because that was falling apart, Ted.
Okay,
That was part of a submission to us.
well, but
It-
it may have been even earlier then, so before 2020. So the latest one is 2020, which Sandy included. Install 5 replacement windows, see attached pictures, size and style, location, same grid pattern.
They did have multiple applications.
And I did look at the other windows just as, because I was looking at it saying, well, wait a minute, those grills don't look right. And I looked at the other windows, they're all the same. And then the other thing is somebody put up a fence. And I was a little surprised about that.
They didn't get
They didn't, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I remember, yeah.
So there's the 102, 101, 104 in the back.
All right, well, maybe we can just
So
figure it
when
out.
it
You can talk to
exceeds-
Jim and make sure we're all talking about the same window, but
Yeah,
I mean, it would be interesting to know even if we approved it back then. I mean, if we did and we just did and missed it, so,
Right, 'cause there
that's it, but.
But what is our follow-up procedure?
right, but we don't.
Well, no, we don't know that it was.
I remember approving the bay.
It depends because that zoning compliance isn't always clicked on for windows. So if the zoning compliance, so the building
we have
official.
one at
will
a
click
time
off,
because I
but
know
if
the guys are
zoning
trying to listen.
compliance,
Yeah,
and it doesn't always catch historic, it shows up as zoning,
right.
so.
All right, so just to
I
make
mean, even
sure,
these are shown, so grill, interior, full divided. We can look at it, so.
Yeah.
right,
yeah, just
We'll
let's,
take a look at
we
it,
don't need to.
we can report back.
Right. And I guess, you know, the issue obviously is whatever is there, whenever it would have been approved, was it approved? If it was approved, and again, if it's not what we today might think would be right, that's nothing we can do about that. If it's not, then I guess what would be our potential recourse, if any? So you could look in that for next meeting, that'd be great. Does anybody else have any other business that they wanted to bring up or issues, thoughts? No? Okay, with that, then meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
What about the minutes?
Did I miss the minutes again?
Yeah,
Move them up. Okay,
Well,
we did not adjourn. I
we
retract.
did not because we didn't vote.
Sandy, as usual, sent the minutes around. They look fine to me. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
And I should have asked any further discussions or changes, edits, comments, typos. Okay, hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed by the same sign? All right, the minutes are passed. Now we can adjourn. Thank you.